Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here, and we're going to give you another Cell Week guide video, or just a cell guide in general. This is someone asked me to do a video on Cell Week, and it's been a long time since I've actually done a cell related video. It's actually one of my more watched videos. Everyone really loves these Cell Week videos, and it's been a long time since I've done one. It's one of my most watched videos, actually. I've ever watched, looking at my most, watched content, those are usually the ones that are watched the most. And there's also a lot of mean comments on there. Everyone hated my voice. They're kind of bullying me, but like just random people in general are just, yeah. Some people are just assholes, but yeah, this is another guide on it. This is another how to get slash easily rank up monsters. Now, me, if you ever paid attention to any of my roster, you'll notice I have a lot of 105s, or a lot of just rank 2s or 1s, mostly just 1s, but you see the thing where I just have a bunch of ranked up stuff. There's a few reasons for that. One is because of trailers. You can get cells through trailers eventually. They'll occasionally have a cell trailer event for a specific after a specific event, like a progression island. There were the gangster dog monsters. I got a lot of Carlo Cambino cells. As you can see here, that doesn't look like the case because I actually just crafted him freely. I basically got Carlo for free, and I didn't even get to Carlo on that progression island. So yeah, that's one way of doing it. Watching all the cells. Not cells. Watching all the trailers for those specific events can get you a lot of cells. Events, mazes specifically, have the tendency to give you cells of previous maze events. That's also a thing. Because I do believe it was the last event, the mythology event, that had primal elements cells like Gaia Nova, Living Forest, and Frostbite, I believe. So it had those kind of on the board there because they were the last maze, so they gave cells for that on specific nodes. So that was really good. Those are really good times to get cells too, is by getting on those nodes and getting those cells. I will say the ones that are really good is the ones that give you up to 20, because essentially if you get if you get one in the future and another one in the distant future, like through a breeding event, you can get that to rank 1. And I will say a rank 1 monster is immensely better than something that's not ranked. It like immediately. Like a ranked up 105 Roxanne is instantly better than a Roxanne that isn't ranked up, or just like a metal monster that could do its job similarly or possibly better, but since it's ranked 105, its stats are better, and thus it didn't matter if its base kit was better than Roxanne's to begin with, because the Roxanne will probably go first now, due to being a high level, better speed scaling, and will probably just straight up kill you right away because the damage is different. The difference between a 100 monster and a 105 monster is pretty different, especially based on runes. Very, very, very much different. That's ranking kind of just busted the game, and it's a very, very important mechanic. A lot of people have the tendency to have rank 2s, rank 1s, 2s, and 3s. It's because it's really, really important to have a lot of ranked up monsters. It's essentially increases your chances of living through a battle or just doing better than you would have with non-ranked up monsters. That's just how ranking is, and it's just dumb. But again, one of the ways I have like a bunch of 105s, or just rank 1 to rank 2 monsters, is because I do tend to have the tendency to invest in these Cell Week events. Again, how this works is you get 20 cells of any specific monster you want. Each one costs essentially 28 gems in total, because you only click twice. That's the rule of thumb. Only ever click twice, and then you just wait for the next event, or you just wait till they're on the sale rack again, because you can invest more than. Because Metalhead, for example, Metalhead was in the previous selection, but now he's available again, so you could get 40 cells instantly there. I don't know if they do that for old popular monsters or just specific monsters in general, but that's just how it is. I saw Metalhead in the last rotation, now I'm seeing him again, so there are some monsters that just pop up more than once, apparently. And people really like that because that makes it so they don't have to wait for the next one to get another 20. Odds are, I would think the sell pricing would reset at that point. Like the once you've collected that 20 and it's on sale, like if it's refreshed, I would think the button would also refresh so you could get 20 more. But that's how essentially you get ranked up stuff done. Essentially, because you can get 20 every time you get 20 of those cells. Obviously, it takes 120 cells for rank 1. So basically, if you get the 20 cells for a given monster and you wind up getting another copy out of it, if you have the base version already, you can essentially just get it to rank 1, no problemo. It's really like you always have to get like an extra copy of a monster because of the odd numbered value. It's always like a 120 or like 150 for rank 2, for example. It's 150 for rank 2. For rank 3, it's like 290, or rank 3 it's like 340. It's all that weird. No, wait. Rank 3 was 290. That's rank 4. Rank 4 is 340. There we go. Yeah, it's always those odd numbers, and you only get 100 cells for every level 100 monster. So it's just that's just how you clear that problem. This is the best way to do it, is usually by buying cells in this shop to do so. And another way to hasten this progress, as you can see here, this would take a lot of time. This is one of the best ways to get monsters, because essentially, if you do wait on this, if you have it, 100 cells, if you only do it, and you get, that specific monster, and you do it every cell week, and you get up to 100 cells, you've essentially just spent 140 gems in total. Now, a really good way of getting this done faster, essentially, is to communicate with your team, because there's a function called cell donating. As you can see here, there is a request cell button on the bottom left screen on the team chat menu, and you can see people requesting cells of monsters they want. If you talk to them, you can kind of negotiate what you want and see if they want to do a cell trade. That's the term of talking with people to see what they want in exchange for said cells. Some people will just straight up give you the cells, just straight up, depending if they like you or not. That's also because that's what cell donating is. Essentially, cell donating is basically you ask for something that you think people wouldn't want, and they'll probably give it to you. Odds are. Let's say, for example, you wanted like, I don't know, let me think of a monster here that isn't too big competitively. It's kind of hard because all my teammates are competitive players. So let's say if you're probably on like a team that's asking for a bunch of, well, not very high tier competitive stuff. Let's say someone asks for like a killer raptor, and you have like a bunch of killer raptor cells that you really don't want or need. You could donate to them. There's always something that you could donate. Let's say someone wants a Varuna. If you have Varuna cells you don't ever plan on using, like ever, you can donate some Varuna cells. That's an example. Now, I have a lot of Varuna cells that I have yet to use. I've had these cells. I've honestly had these Varuna cells since the beginning of 72-hour event challenge, or like for that 72-hour event challenge. I think it was the first one. I can't remember, but it's been a long time. That's how long I've had these, and I've just been waiting forever for Varuna to come out for free on an event. It's just so long. It's gonna be worth it. That 105 hashtag eventually 105 Varuna will be a thing eventually, but I'm waiting for it. I really am. It's gonna be very, very relevant by that time, but I'll get it someday for free. It's gonna be for free someday. Someday we're gonna get it for free. But you get my point. Yes, I could craft it, but I don't want to craft it. Is my point. I don't want to wind up crafting it and then feed it and then, get a free fauna in the future and then having to decompose it. You get my point. But that is how essentially you get a lot of cells. Now, things that I would recommend, what would I think would be good things, to invest in as a player. Deniers are usually good, so if you liked a specific denier, go for that. Again, things that you personally like in general. Let's say it's not a very popular monster. Let's say you love King Darien. You really love that monster, so you just spend that 20 gems per cell week event, and you'll eventually get that for 140. again, again, personal likes. I recommend things that you personally like. I recommend things that are deniers. I recommend things that are really good supports. I personally think Ukaduma is really good. Let's say you do take one of my recommendations. Like if you ever watch any of my streams and you like me using, you like a specific monster that I use that not many people consider really, really good. I consider Ukaduma really, really good. And let's say you didn't want to spend that 250 price for it again, you could essentially get Ukaduma here for 140 passively eventually at some point, which is a really good monster. uh, Now, another thing that I do is if I don't really mind waiting for another copy of said monster, I usually just get enough cells for said monster for that specific rank. So right now, I could get rank 2 Ukaduma whenever there's another one that comes out, and I already have 60 cells. So by that time, I get that Ukaduma. I'll be ready for that odd one since because I already have over the 50 odd cells for it. So if there's ever a solid one that comes out, I only need that one to get it to rank 2. But yeah, you should get it. You should get things that invest to things are deniers, things you personally want, and or I guess supports. I don't know, really know. I guess the third thing is just whatever you really want, whatever you really really want, done. Oh! One more thing. Galante family. I think that's a good one to invest in. Personally, I think Galante family is a must. So you need Galante Jr., Violet, and Galante himself. I think that's a personal must in terms of as a competitive player. You will use all three monsters both competitively and for breeding events. I personally think that's recommend. It's a recommended must. It is a really good. If you want my recommendations, I really recommend getting Galante family. And this is the cheapest, theoretically speaking. This is the cheapest way to do so. This is the cheapest way to get them. So if you don't have Galante Jr. yet, you can use get 20 of those cells now and progressively get him, and essentially just only had to spend like 140 gems for it for just 100. Again, that's just for 100 cells. It doesn't necessarily mean you don't have to just get them from that. You could also do cell donations. You can ask people for it. Maybe people will donate to you, and or you could do cell trades with other people to hasten the process. In all honesty, people will be paying the same price regardless of what it is. Every single person will be paying the same price anyway, and you should respect the deal. If you do ask for a cell trade, if you do agree to a cell trade, you need to honor the other person and actually buy the cells they ask for, the 20 cells the person asks for, then you exchange them. For example, me and Xyz are doing an exchange at the at the moment. We're still doing it because I didn't have the 20 Oikawa cells, but I gave him the 20 Metalasha cells. So when I have when I get 20 Oikawa cells, he'll donate the 20 he owes me, and all that jazz. So that's a good example. That's an example of a cell trade. He asks for one thing, which was Metalasha. I asked for something. I asked for Oikawa, and we agreed on that cell trade. And yeah, we do that. That's something we do. I am getting those 20 in this event. I am going to get those 20 Oikawa cells in this event. So I'll be pretty much ready for rank 1 if Oikawa comes out again on an event. I'll be all set for that. I'll be all set for a rank 1 Oikawa if that ever pops up again, which is good. Or I just get them in the future for a deal or anything like that. But yeah, that's essentially it. That's essentially how you rank up monsters. Again, how I usually have like 105s and 110s. I get them passively from here. I get the odd numbered cells. I get the 20 cells, I get the 50 cells for rank 2, and then I just wait for a solid copy to come out for an event. And they're doing that more and more now. We're getting events that are shorter on time, but they're old monsters, so you'll just be able to rank them up. It's better. Ranked monsters are better versus things that aren't ranked. It's just logic. Like, if you're like a 130, if you have like a 130 attacker, regardless of the base damage, you're still gonna do a lot of damage. You're just gonna do loads and loads of damage, even if the base scaling isn't as strong as other monsters nowadays. Let's say you just had about 50 to 65 damage scaling on moves for an attacker. If you 130, that doesn't matter. That does not matter. You're gonna do damage out the ears naturally. It's gonna be dumb. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be dumb. But that's it for this video. I hope this video was very informational for you and helped a lot. I'm Dib the Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.